Our experiences in the world are determined by the level of awareness and by the choices we make. We call this free will. We could also argue that we do not have free will, and that all actions are chosen from a higher level. Fine. My point here is that we also are that higher level. This higher level lives in human bodies in order to experience an illusion. Somewhere up the line towards the top, we make choices that humans might assume to be their choices. From whatever level these choices are made, they are always made by us, because there is but one essential energy being. We are that being. Right now, however, in order to experience our creation, we suffer almost complete amnesia. The truth has slipped our mind. We have forgotten who or what we are in order to be human beings. We are the one mind or the one being, but we have forgotten this. We as humans live behind a veil of forgetfulness. The result is that we will be confused until we awaken, or at least until we understand our predicament. Also, we need to understand that the choices made by each individual manifestation of the one being are made in such a way that a slow but steady recognition of the self is eventually accomplished. We need to learn to recognize ourselves. This is what I have figured out by means of the choices I have made and the conclusions I have accepted by means of my experiences. There is no proof, however, that I made all the right choices and had the right experiences. In the meantime, I could say that I have done very well for myself. At one time, I even thought that I knew something. Meanwhile, some wise sages tell me that the best thing to know is that we know nothing. Naturally, I smile and agree. We could say that the one being or unbroken whole we are is actually making these choices, but I feel that these choices are made when the one being has manifested itself as finite human beings. No doubt all this is a mind trick of the first order. This only can be done in a dream-like setting in which we as humans seem to exist. Meanwhile, the unbroken whole is the embracing vibration that sustains all and is all. It dreams itself into beings with finite existences, and the beings it becomes believe that their existences are real. This is why we have trouble recognizing that we live in an illusion, because we have accepted it as an objective reality. If you ask me, nobody ever does. It's a mind-boggling mind trick that is created by the one being we are, or the illusionary selves we must therefore be. It fools God into believing that it is us, and some of us believe that we are God. Makes them even. We could say then that we are the unbroken whole and have manifested ourselves as billions and billions of beings of all kind. We play a game of hide and seek with ourselves. Meanwhile, our existences as human beings are seemingly independent of the whole we actually are. My point here is that our existences as human beings are not created by the finite figments of the dream, the whole dreams. Gerardus is not his own creator, but his whole is, which is him in the first place. On the other hand, we could say that Gerardus creates himself because he is able to change himself and outgrow his previous level of awareness. He does this by means of the whole that lives within him. He is both the whole and the individual simultaneously. This is why he is able to grow from zero to infinity within the dream we call creation. We could say that the whole and Gerardus have a mutual dream experience that is real to both, because the one experiences the other by means of itself. Gerardus is a mental or dream reality. He does not really exist and therefore is an illusion. He is a mental energy called a consciousness or soul that looks physical when this mental or soul energy experiences itself in a physical body. Gerardus is a consciousness that looks physical, but in actuality is made of illusionary dream stuff. Gerardus is the creator's mind existing in a specific physical reality Gerardus calls the world he lives in. What Gerardus experiences depends on his level of awareness, because his awareness creates his surroundings. He is playing catch-22 with his own cosmic energies. Simultaneously, he is the dreamer and a dream figment in his own dream. Meanwhile, Gerardus just writes and mumbles along and people think that he knows something. Not necessarily so. Possibly, they only think that he knows something, and pretty soon they begin to believe their own thinking, which means that they create their own illusions. No doubt, they always turn out to be real in the end, because people keep reinforcing them. Life is the mirror of our thoughts. This puts us in a very precarious position because we keep deluding ourselves with our own opinions. It's indeed a catch-22 of infinite proportions. This is why it works. We create the entire universe all on our own, right from scratch. This is what I have said many a time before and feel to be so. Meanwhile, naturally it is so, because I keep reinforcing my own thoughts or reality. All this proves to me that we create whatever we experience. However, not necessarily do we presently experience everything that exists in the unbroken whole or universal mind we are. The universe is the funniest place we could think of. It contains all theories, and we could follow 1,000 different and opposing propositions, and eventually we would find that they all prove to be true. This is so because along the way of proving them, we determine and dream up our own limits within which we investigate our propositions. This is why they all turn out to be true. All this veracity are but opinions written in words that possibly make up the whole and may make a lasting impression upon it. God is manageable, so to speak. Meanwhile, all dreams and realities change. All this means that whatever we do or dream about is only something we entertain ourselves with. Maybe there is nothing else to do, for the unbroken whole and the figments in its dreams. So we could say that the unbroken whole or the truth contains all dreams and opinions as possibilities. But it is neither of them. All things and beings pass through or exist in the cosmic mind and actually even change it ever so slightly. As a matter of fact, the cosmic mind is nothing but change. Meanwhile, the unbroken whole is and is not all things simultaneously. All this creates a most confusing paradox, if you ask me.